Bulavinaka, and a very warm welcome to this week's episode of Speak Your Mind on Gold FM, only the classic hits. And this is live on radio and also replayed on FBC TV every Tuesday night. I'm your host, Louise County-Sella, and now, for the past few years, the Corona Uprising Festival of Music, Dance and Lights at Pacific Harbour has been providing entertainment dubbed as second to none. And with a perfect backdrop, I must say, with sunshine and, of course, moonlight, sea and sand, it brings people together from all walks of life to enjoy live music from talented local and international artists and even dancers. Well, it's on again this Saturday, the 8th of November at the Uprising Beach Resort. And our guest in the studio today, we have from the Uprising Resort, Mr. James Pridgeon. A very warm welcome to you.
Naka, Bulavinaka.
Bulavinaka, and also Sassy. And she's a singer and songwriter. A warm welcome to you too, Sassy.
Naka, Bulavinaka.
Right. Well, I will start off with how did the idea of this festival first come about?
Okay, well, I can definitely speak of that one. Unfortunately, as she's so tied up with organizing the festival, Darlene is not able to make it into studio at the moment. Darlene is the brainchild behind the Corona Uprising Festival of Music, Dance and Lights. Over the last few years, we've worked really well together. She approached the Uprising a few years ago with the idea of the music festival. Back then, we never thought it would grow into the beast that it is becoming. So immediately, being a locally owned business with the concept of supporting a locally grown festival with a lot of influence with Fiji musicians or those that have an affiliation to the Fiji music scene, we thought it perfect. Uprising Beach Resort would love to partner with that. And as you mentioned just before, the sun, sand, the surf that's out there, I don't think there's many other places that could say that they hold a festival literally on the beach. And our Fiji people, we love our music, we love our dancing, and so what better way to spend it than at the Uprising this Saturday, the 8th of November from 12 p.m. with our music festival. And please come down and join us with the artists.
Yeah, okay. So you were saying, you have really good crowds that turn up almost every year.
Yeah.
So why do you think, well, of course, you've mentioned the backdrop and everything of the festival, but anything else?
Well, the festival every year grows from strength to strength. We get more and more support from the business community every year. Just today, I had someone calling up wanting to show their support and come and take one of our hotspots with our sponsorship. So big shout outs to those guys there, and we'll speak about them a bit later on. But I think that our festival, what it is, it's an all-age event. It's a great family day out. The nighttime, of course, becomes a bit more of a night party. Yeah. But during the day, we have things from face painting. We have kids stations. We've got volunteer groups there supporting us and speaking about mangrove conservation. And they're going to be it's not just the music and getting people to come and enjoy the music. It's getting the families to come out there and enjoy the day at the beach. The Kids Club this year is sponsored by Kundan Singh, so big vinaka to them. They'll be putting on free lunches for any kids that come into the festival this year. So for every child under the age of 12, if you're coming with a fully paid adult, your entry to our festival is free.
Okay.
If you just jump on our Facebook page and you look at some of the images from last year, you'll see that it is definitely a family-friendly event, so please come along. There'll be 2 firework displays this year. We'll be doing one earlier in the evening and one a bit later at night to cater for that, because we're mindful that we're not just trying to cater to the adults. We want to have a wide market that we're catering to, and definitely having the kids out there and making it a family-friendly event is the aim of our of the Uprising Beaches on Pacific Coast events and promotions.
Okay, so now to Sassy. Now, you are a singer and songwriter. You might like to tell us what sort of music that you're into.
Okay, yeah, that's right. I'm a singer and a songwriter. I write all of my own music, and I do have an album out that's all original. That's called 81 The Underlove. It's on iTunes and all of that. Actually, I sing soul, reggae, hip-hop, kind of popular genres over here, but I also sing in Fijian, which is probably a point of difference. And I sing, from old singing drinking numbers, and I'm also working with some artists that are on the rise at the moment, including KKU, very popular dance artist at the moment. So got some more club hits coming out as well in Fijian and English.
Well, that is really interesting. I've noticed that your Itauke is pretty good, like Fijian. Have you been here for a while?
Well, some people know it and some people don't know it, so I might as well let you in that Awawati Namosi. I've got a husband that's right from the interior,
Oh,
and
okay.
so I speak Namosi dialect, and that's where my Fijian comes from.
Excellent.
And just started, singing around the tanwa, and that's how I picked up Fijian music. For the past 8 years, I've been singing in Fijian.
So you're going to be doing a singing dringy number.
I will definitely. There's a hit that it's kind of become a hit. It's an old singing dream number that went a bit viral on the internet last month. That I had a tribute to the detained soldiers at that time, Dalo Manikila, and a lot of locals would have seen my video. I was singing with my husband. We're just sitting around at home, just in front of the computer, and we jammed it out. Next thing, I start getting calls, and people said, "Hey, we've seen your video," and the thing just went crazy on the internet. So I think that number has to be performed on Saturday.
Okay, just by speaking, I can tell that you've got a lovely voice. Contralto?
Yeah, how did you know? Well, that's probably from my jazz training. I did a Bachelor of Music in Jazz at University of Auckland, and I think I started as a soprano and gradually got lower as I sang the blues,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's very nice. So, look forward to seeing Sassy perform come this Saturday. So, yes, Vinaka Vakalevu. So, James, in terms of musicians, I hear you have a lot that will be performing this Saturday.
We've got a full lineup of musicians, and this year I'd say that this year is the best lineup that we've had year to date. And we've had great musicians in the past, but this year we've got just confirmed, like having Sassy perform with us and bringing her unique music, and her singing in Fijian, I think is going to wow the crowd. There's going to be 1,000 people that'll walk out and go, "So, who's this Kaivalangi girl singing in Fijian up on the stage?" You know.
Yeah.
And then having Jay back here with us again this year with his trumpet and drummer, it's going to add a bit more flavor. We've just confirmed, and for the Fiji public that's been waiting, Knox will be performing at our festival this year. He wasn't able to perform last year due to other commitments, but this year we are honored to have him down with us. So he'll be in on Saturday and performing, and I think he's also going to be doing a bit of a release of his new EP as well. So for anyone that's been following that, apart from those guys, we've also got the likes of Mr. Grin, aka Dave Lavaki, and the Suva Hip Hop Boys that are going to be coming down this year. And like I said, the festival is not about just sticking to one genre of music.
Yeah.
It's about celebrating all the different genres of music that are coming up in Fiji. Hip hop is very popular amongst our younger generation. For myself personally, it's been the sort of music when I grew up as a kid. I still listen to it today, and I really appreciate. And I'm very thankful and honored to have Dave and the guys come down, and I'm looking forward to seeing them perform at the festival. We've got some of Fiji's best dance groups, from the Vo dance group to the Shobna Chanel. We've got the Rako band and dance group performing this year. Joseph Ampuch, who's just flown in yesterday from Adelaide, just recently won a blues competition in Adelaide. So the caliber of musicians and performers that's going to be there this year is going to be second to none for the Uprising Corona Festival of Music, Dance and Lights.
Excellent. Sounds like a musical extravaganza to me. But we'll be back with more on Speak Your Mind shortly. Welcome back to Speak Your Mind, and we continue with this very interesting interview because it's entertainment, and no better way than, of course, just winding down like for a wonderful festival that is happening at the Uprising this Saturday. And I'm going to talk to Sassy once again. And Sassy, apart from being a singer, who is going to be playing your, like when you do singing dringy, like a guitar? Who's going to be, how is it going to be done?
Okay, I've got a full band, actually, of local musicians. I always work with local musicians because there's so much talent right here. So I've got a wonderful band, including the likes of Sam Maui, Johnny Bola. These are local
Johnny
artists.
Bola's a drummer, right?
Yeah, he's a drummer.
Yeah, I know him.
Sam Maui, obviously, on the keys. And Baba, he's actually a bass player from Lotoka side. These are guys that play with bands, very well recognized bands like Makare and things like that. I've also got a special guest who I'm not going to mention exactly, but a clue is he's somebody that's very up and coming right now in the scene.
Okay.
Now, and the other thing is, alongside that, we'll have some backing vocalists. It's going to be a full sound up on stage. And as James was saying, it's such a diverse day. I think even my set, it's going to be diverse. It's not just one style.
Okay.
So we're incorporating all the influences I have, which are, from the more contemporary soul. I'm performing my original music, and also as we said, the classic singing dringy and.
You are very talented. I mean, to have made original music, that is something I must admire. And I'm very curious now to hear your songs that you've written. So is this your first performance, or have you been doing it since the festival began?
Actually, I have never performed at Uprising Festival. I was meant to last year, and then I had to shoot back over to New Zealand, which is my home country. So because I have 3 little kids, so they were back there. So yeah, last year, unfortunately, I missed out, but I saw it all on Facebook, and I was envious of everyone that was there. And I said, this year I've got to make it. So after speaking with Darlene and James, and then we've made it happen, which is wonderful.
Great.
And actually, I'm here permanently now, so it's a bit easier.
Okay.
Just before I sign off, I just want to do a big shout out, if you allow me.
Of course you can.
I'd like to thank Miss Moo, and that's a wonderful boutique downtown here in Suva. She's dressing me for the day. Yeah, you can check her out in Queensland Arcade. She's awesome, just contemporary kind of styles, and you'll see the sassy style on stage that day.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. Any clues on the outfit?
Bright and colorful, popping colors. You'll see.
Lovely. All right, then. So back to James. Maybe you'd like to add on a bit more there.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be wearing as bright or colorful outfit on the day, but
sure.
We'll be very busy on the day. I guess for us, this festival is going to continue to grow. We've had some great support come through this year. For the first time, we've had Tourism Fiji come on board, so big thank you to Tourism Fiji and Fiji Airways. They've come on board supporting Corona through Paradise Beverages, and it's good to see some of our key industry organizations getting behind our event. We hope to grow this to become a international event as far as Fiji tourism go, and we hope to see in the years to come people booking plane tickets to come over here to come and watch some of Fiji's best homegrown musicians
and that could
and
very
local
well happen.
artists. It's absolutely going to happen. I don't think there's a could even in it. Last year we had around 10 sponsors. This year we've had around over 20 come through, and of course for different things, and there's a lot of in-kind as well, which is appreciated. So a big shout out to all our sponsors. There's too many to name them all, but to Corona and Rowena and the guys at Paradise Beverage, thank you very much, and to Tourism Fiji, Ken and the guys, and Fiji Airways, Coca-Cola, of course FBC, who have been so supportive of us. Thank you so much for having us come through and talk about our festival. And I do hope to see the crowds and the numbers come out there. Bring your dancing shoes out with you on the day, because it's going to be a non-stop fun-filled day for the whole family.
Excellent. Well, I sure believe that people will be just heading over there in droves. That's for sure. Come this Saturday. I mean, what is the capacity like? How many people can you take in to be part of the festival?
Thanks. Last year we had around 1,200 come through the gate. There weren't 1,200 people at one particular time, but this year I do anticipate, with growth that's been seen over the last sort of 3 to 4 years, we've had on average around anywhere from 10 to 25% growth year in, year out. So if we're going to have 20% growth this year, we could have well close to like 1,800 people come through the gate. We're ready for it. We've got cold beers, cold wine. We've got an oyster bar down there this weekend, and for all of you that are wondering, oyster bar, yes, oysters do grow here in Fiji, and we'll be supplying them on the Music Festival Day.
Yeah.
On that note as well, I just want to say thanks to Digicel. For any of you guys that are in Suva and need to get down to the festival this Saturday, check out Digicel's Facebook page and the Corona Uprising Festival page on Facebook for details of the free bus that is being put on thanks to Digicel, the Digicel Express. That'll we'll be heading down to the festival at 11 a.m. on Saturday, and we'll return at a safe hour as well for everyone to get back into Suva. So please, if you want to get on that bus, see the guys at Digicel at Kandavu House so they can get your name down, because it's a first come, first serve. And on the day, we don't want any last minute festival goers to show up disappointed they couldn't get on the bus. So stay tuned for that. There'll be some more information on the bus coming through in a couple more interviews this week as well.
Okay, great. So, Sassy, what are you looking forward to at the festival?
You know, it's been a really great build-up for me because I've been lucky enough to be accommodated by the organizer. So I'm living in the house of, well, at the moment it's manic, like we're in the last couple of days leading up, but the hype is building. So I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to, obviously the weather's starting to brighten up. I know it's going to be a beautiful day. Uprising is one of my favorite places. No, I believe it.
Okay,
I'm
good,
claiming the weather. But
That's the way.
Uprising, you know, I've been lucky enough to sing there a little bit lately, and it's just such a beautiful place right on the beach, as James said. So, you know, what better place? And I'm looking forward to just seeing the diversity, you know, like all that's on offer right here in Fiji. It's such a melting pot, and musically, like the talent and also the dance. And I know like the lights, the features that we've got in terms of lights that's in the title. It's something that's unique to Fiji, you know, like the fire dancing, and I know there's lasers and all sorts of kind of thing. And one of the dance group works with lights too, I believe. So this is something different, and it's something that I haven't seen much at festivals. So I personally am really looking forward, and also just catching up with people who, you know, share the same passions as I do, which is like, you know, at a festival, just partying and dancing and getting down to good music. So I just want to say also, like, if you're going and wondering where to buy tickets, we better mention it, and maybe James will say it again. But Digicel obviously is one.
Yeah, but we do need to head into a short break now.
We'll mention it later.
When we come back, we've got plenty to talk about.
Set.
No problem.
We'll be back shortly. Welcome back to Speak Your Mind, and we have a very exciting segment that we're doing now, because we've got the musicians that will be performing at the Uprising Resort this Saturday in Pacific Harbour. And of course, I'd like to welcome Jay Horde.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. And also Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jim's, that's a trumpet in his hand. But Jay Horde, I believe you were born in Suva. You might like to tell us more about yourself.
Yeah, I was born here in 1980, one of the only white boys in the hospital, I believe. So, yeah, and I've been touring all around the world, performing live music over the last few years, and Jim has been touring around the place with me. So it's been fantastic, and just here releasing the latest album, Home is Where the Heart Is. We shot the video clip for that here in Navua last year, so it's been going really well.
Oh, excellent. So what instruments do you play?
I play, I've got about 17 instruments in the show. We don't have all of them here because excess luggage is ridiculously expensive, but we got a small version of the show here. But I play didgeridoos, drums, guitar, lap steel guitar, dulcimer, dulcitar, cigar box guitar. I've got a little tin box metal guitar, you know, harmonicas, drum kit, percussion, and I use a loop station when I play live, so I record the music as I go, and I can I play a bass line, record that, then I play a guitar part, I record that, then drums, so it sounds like a whole band, and a lot of energy, sweat and dreadlocks flying everywhere.
All right, so multi-instrumentalist,
yes,
right?
Correct,
yes,
correct.
And that's a didgeridoo?
This is a travel didgeridoo.
Okay.
So this is usually they're made out of wood, but this one is made out of plastic. It's and it slides down, so it compresses very well to travel with. It sounds almost exactly the same as a good quality wooden didgeridoo, but it's much better for traveling. So yeah.
So when did you feel that, music was in your blood? Because obviously, I mean, I can tell just talking to you.
Yeah, since I could walk, pretty much. I started, I think when I could walk, I literally walked for a guitar. And since then, I've pretty much been drawn to every unusual instrument that I've ever seen. So I have a real passion for traveling and third world countries and that sort of thing, really the unusual places. And when I see people play unusual instruments, it's like a magnet, you know? know. So I always try and get lessons from the local musicians and learn more everywhere I go. And then I bring those instruments back to Australia and back to Fiji, and try and give people something different.
Touring is the best part of being a musician.
It is.
Okay, yes, touring. So you enjoy the touring bit of being a musician. What, just seeing the different parts of the world?
Different parts of the world, the different cultures, and the different cultural influences in the music. Last year we were in India for a festival. That was a real big influence.
Incredible.
For us.
Yeah,
Okay.
great food as well. So that was really good.
Okay, so I expect you've been probably almost all around the world, haven't you?
We've been to a lot of countries. We haven't done Africa yet. We almost got to Africa a few years ago.
Okay.
But I think I did a tour in the Caribbean instead that year, which was awesome as well. So we will get to Africa at some point though too. So yeah, but we've done a lot of traveling. We're very, very lucky, blessed. So yeah.
Okay, so as a musician, when you perform on stage, what satisfies you most?
The crowds. The
Okay.
crowds just interacting with us.
Okay.
It really is. When you get that energy back from the crowd, it brings the performance up to another level. The
Yeah.
more energy you get back from the crowd, the more the levels go up and up and up until it's it just hits the roof
It's
sometimes.
the interactive experience.
Yeah, because music is all about feel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you feel the music and you just go with the music.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. No, and just like Jim said, the reactions from the crowd is the best bit, and bringing something unique, bringing something I like to always bring something that they've never heard before. So
Yeah.
that's my goal, is to bring them something they've never heard, never seen before. So
Yeah, so you do all sorts of tempos, but
styles, genres,
styles, genres, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you do reggae, you do jazz.
Yep, rock, funk, there's even a bit of sort of hip hop influences in there. There's some heavy metal style influences, sort of a bit of Afro-Cuban with some Fijian mixes in there, a bit of Fijian influence, the Australian tribal sort of influence, the indigenous with the didgeridoo, Celtic, world music. We get everything, and funky. Everything's high energy, funky. We want to get the butts shaking on the dance floor. So yeah, that's what it's all about.
Excellent. And well, I love the trumpet, and I've
Thank you.
always thought, you have to have a really good breath to be able to play the horn instruments, yeah?
The science of breath is very important. It's almost like when I was in India and
Yeah.
got tuned in more to yoga. Wow, it's breath is life, and breath really is the ticket for this instrument.
Yeah, I love the
Yeah.
horn. So you play the trumpet. Any other horns that you can play, or this is your speciality?
Yeah, this is my specialty, along with the flugelhorn, which is just a variety of sort of this. It's just a
Yeah.
bigger horn, more mellow. And I might play a little keyboards with Jay as well. So.
Oh, okay. So you can play keyboards as well. Do you sing?
And I sing some backup, but not like Jamin. He's the he's the star.
Yeah, the lead vocalist, multi-instrumentalist.
I don't know about that, but Jim's got a great voice too, and
Okay.
yeah, amazing trumpet player. I'm very lucky to have him. We've also got Brett, who's actually hiding in the background here, an incredible drummer from South Australia. So we've got the whole band here this year, which has been great that the festival's so supportive
Yeah.
to have the whole band this year. So.
Okay, so the whole band, how many of you?
Just three of us this time.
Okay,
it
so
does
the three of
expand,
you,
but
right,
yeah,
yes.
3 of us for this one, and possibly a few special guests as well.
Well, that's all you need,
Lot
three.
of good friends performing at this festival, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
So.
because what brings to my mind is the English rock band Police. They
Yep.
were a three-piece band, weren't they? They were my favorite bands when I was a child.
Absolutely, that drummer, or the whole band,
Stuart
of course.
Copeland.
Stuart Copeland, my
yeah.
God, that's just incredible. He's like God on the drum kit. So we were just speaking, myself and the drummer were just speaking in the other day about him. So yes, yeah, very very good.
Yes, okay, then we'll be back, okay, and we'll get you to play a bit of didgeridoo.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yes, and also Tim to play us a bit of trumpet, so look forward to that coming up shortly. Welcome back to Speak Your Mind on Gold FM, only the classic hits. And we have the best bit of our interview now, as we have our musicians here who will be performing at the Uprising Resort this Saturday to give us a little demo, yes. And we've our addition here who is a drummer. And you might like to introduce yourself.
I'm Brett. How you going?
Okay, great. So, yeah, give us a demo.
All right. Okay, here we go.
Wow, that was amazing. Thank you so much. Well, that was fantastic. Now, well, it almost sounded like your didgeridoo was talking.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. It's better when Brett has a whole drum kit.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it's got a
okay.
huge sound system.
Good one.
Uprising will be that times 100.
Yep, so that's what to expect come this Saturday at the Uprising. And yeah, it's just beautiful. Thank you so much.
pleasure,
Yes,
thank
and anyhow, you can sit down now and ask you, please, if you don't mind, just a few more questions. And maybe just tell me, as musicians, like you've already said, that what ticks you is when the crowd responds to the music that you're playing. But how, I mean, I don't understand if people don't respond, because how can you not respond to music and beats? Yeah?
Yeah, most of the time it's like that. And sometimes you do get quieter crowds and crowds that aren't as enthusiastic to show their, response.
Yeah.
But even still, like, we appreciate that, just as much too. It's sometimes nice to have quiet crowds and intimate.
A listening audience. Sometimes
Yeah.
they're intent on listening, but we perceive that as well.
Yes.
And, vary our performance in the same way, to that.
We were speaking with James yesterday saying next time we tour through Fiji, I think we're going to do a couple of intimate side shows. So maybe one down here in Suva, maybe one in Nandi or something, and go for more of an intimate sort of show, which would be lovely to bring that to Fiji also. Yeah.
Yeah. So how many festivals have you been since the first one, I believe, yeah?
Yeah, we've been, this is my fourth festival,
Okay.
and I did the first two by myself, and then last year Jim came as well, and then this year we had Brett as well. So each year I try and convince the festival to let me bring another musician, So
band-
eventually we'll have a 7-piece band.
The band gets bigger as the festival
that's
gets bigger.
right, that's right. So
Yeah, so as musicians, do you actually read music or do you play by ear?
Both.
yeah, both. We've
Both?
We're trained.
Jim and I have
Wow.
spent our whole life studying music. So I've done a diploma and a degree in jazz music.
Yeah.
Jim studied, and we've all played in all kinds of different bands over the years.
Yeah.
So between the different bands and different styles that we've been lucky enough to play with and travel, that's
Yeah.
why this show has turned into such a monstrosity of genres and instruments. So yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, Brett, where are you from?
From Australia, South Australia.
South Australia?
Yeah.
Okay, so when did you start playing the drums?
Been playing the drums for about 6 years.
Okay.
And so not probably as long as these guys, but
Yeah.
hooked up with Jay, and sort
Okay.
of got something fairly in common there, loving music, and
Right.
real nice thing happening. So
Yeah,
sounds really
definitely.
groovy.
Brett's come along a lot as a drummer over the last few years, and we sort of threw him in the deep end in the beginning because it was stylistically challenging for him because he'd been playing mainly rock sort of stuff, and with this show there's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So, but he's stepped up and really playing. These days he sounds amazing, and all the different styles of music. And the coolest thing about when you're on tour, if you take musicians on tour, the number one thing I can tell you is as awesome as Brett is, it's not about the skills, it's about the hang, the people, the attitude and the personality.
Exactly.
And that's why it's so cool having people like Brett and Jim
Yeah.
on the road, because it's no hassles, no stress, just it is what it is. We have fun,
Yeah.
and then we do our thing, and then we have fun afterwards, So that's really cool.
Thank
you for that.
And
Yeah.
we're all on Fiji time now, so
Yeah,
great.
you're on Fiji time,
I know, we
that's
love
for
it.
sure. And I'm sure you will have a wonderful time at the festival. And, it really interests me when you say that you do both, play by ear and read music, because I used to take piano lessons when I was little, but then I read music, and then it sort of spoiled me into, playing by ear, which I thought was a shame. I mean, it happens to certain people, but I wish I could just sit down at the piano now and just, play away like my
Yeah.
grandmother used to. That's the thing. Yeah.
It's good to be able to do everything, but there's a lot of incredible musicians that have never learnt to read music.
Yeah, we have a lot of musicians like this in Fiji.
Yeah.
Most of them, I would say, will probably, majority of them play by ear.
The spirit of the Fijian musicians, and I mean, for you guys, you grow up here, it's part of the culture, the guitars sitting around the campfire, 3 guitars, 3-part vocal harmony.
That's
it's
right.
just how it's done, So, as soon as you're from a baby onwards, you grow up hearing it, seeing it, experience it. So you have that, in the heart.
Yes, exactly. Well, what inspired, or who inspired you when you were growing up to,
Jim,
be
you wanna-
what you are? Maybe we'll start off with our friend here.
Well, my goodness. Thank you. Yeah, Mom got me this trumpet back when I was like in years 5 or 6 in school.
Was
And
that like 1950s?
well,
time? No, just
well, not this
I-
particular trumpet.
Oh, okay. Right.
And then, I took some lessons and quickly got into trumpet players. And and the trumpet players I sort of got into were more on the jazz side of things. So when I was training, I learned to read. But when you start learning jazz, that's when you learn to play by ear as well.
I see.
So I was into trumpet players like Miles Davis and Freddie Hubbard, and then some of the high note trumpet players too, like James Morrison from Australia and Maynard Ferguson from Canada, and guys like that. So, and I still have favorite trumpet players I follow now too, mainly with New Orleans styles and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
everybody knows Wynton Marsalis.
Yeah.
And then there's some younger ones too I'm into that are more obscure. So.
Yeah. There was a really famous trumpeter too. Not sure, was it Ray Charles? No, Ray Charles. No, it wasn't. Yeah, Black American blues, really famous.
Oh, Miles Davis, probably. Miles Davis.
Yeah, probably Miles
Yep.
Davis. Yeah, we played.
Or Louis Armstrong as well. Louis
Yeah,
Armstrong.
that's
what
the
you're thinking.
one
yeah.
I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
Louis Armstrong. Hello,
Yeah.
Dolly.
He started
Yeah.
everything.
He did.
He
Yeah.
started everything.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So we have.
Satchmo.
Satchmo, yeah.
So we do have like our Sunday program where we have like the old music, and that's when we play Louis Armstrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so that's only on Sundays that we do that. And so who inspired you, Jay?
Yeah, sort of a bit like Jim, lots of different inspirations. When I was a kid, my parents played sort of all the classic rock on the record player, so Led Zeppelin and Deep Purple and all that sort of style. I'm just trying to think of some others. I've just gone blank for the moment. But then growing up in the sort of early 90s, I was into all the classic sort of, I guess, pop stuff that was on the radio.
Yeah, you're right in the station where we play classics. And,
Yeah,
we
all
play Led
that.
Zeppelin, we play
All that, yeah, and then
Yeah,
I guess
back
in the 90s I sort of I don't know, got into bands like Pearl Jam and but I'm not going to lie, I did know all the words to Ice Ice Baby by Vanilla Ice as well.
Yeah,
but,
okay,
I
me
don't usually
too,
tell
me
people
too.
that, but anyway, just ignore that. But yeah, a bit of everything. And then sort of got into Nirvana and that heavy music, and then I got into a special music school which was strictly classical. So I had to do just classical music for about 3 years, strict, so sight reading and technique. And then I got into a diploma in contemporary music on the electric bass, and then I did a degree in jazz on the upright bass, on the acoustic bass. So I studied, had years of just jazz, so Miles Davis and all that stuff, and John Coltrane and all that amazing stuff.
Yes.
And then when I was 23, I got a job in the Caribbean working on cruise ships playing acoustic bass with the jazz quartet over there. So I toured all around North America and Europe and the Caribbean doing stuff with them, and then Yeah, it just keeps going. So yeah, everything. I love everything. There's no music styles. I rarely hear anything I don't like.
Yeah.
I appreciate everything,
Yeah.
no matter what it is, for what it is.
For music, yeah, that's the same with me. I love all music,
Yeah.
beginning from, the start of time. But we'll have to head into a short break once
Thank
again.
you.
We'll be back for more. Welcome back to Speak Your Mind on Gold FM, only the classic hits. And yes, James, tickets. We need to know where to get these tickets to be able to see these amazing musicians.
Yeah, tickets are available from right here at FBC. You can buy them at reception. There are a few left here. There's also tickets across the road at Kandavu House at the Digicel main office. Tickets are also available at the moment up at the Governor's Cafe on Nolly Street, as well as Cakes 2000. On that note, tickets will be collected by Thursday afternoon from Suva, and they will be available to be purchased at the gate on the day. We are not seeing this as a sellout event, but we suggest everyone to get there early. Just a point for everyone to note, like our normal Fiji crowd, especially the younger guys, they like to roll in a bit later in the evening. Just so everyone knows, there will be no new entries into the music festival after 9 p.m. So you need to get in there early, please. We're working very closely with authorities and everything like that, as it's going to be a lot of people, so we suggest travel safe. Get your tickets if you can, and make sure you're at the uprising before 9 o'clock if you're planning to come. Unless you've already been on the day, it'll be pretty hard to get in because we're expecting a capacity crowd by around 9 p.m.
Okay, so you did mention something about how you support, is it WWF?
Yes, we're working very closely and partnered up with WWF Pacific, and also being strongly supported by Projects Abroad, who are a volunteer program based out of Pacific Harbour, who are here to help our small island nation in terms of shark conservation and mangrove reforestation. Just like I mentioned in an interview earlier, it's really important for us to align ourselves with a charity of choice that kind of suits the festival. Being a beachside location, we're consuming a lot on the day. I think our carbon footprint on the day with the amount of plastic that will be consumed will be quite big. I don't think a lot of people know that mangroves absorb carbon up to 4 times more faster than any other terrestrial forest in the world.
Okay.
So the more mangroves we plant, the better it is for our carbon footprint and to try and combat climate change, which has been a big topic in the Pacific over the last couple of years. So that's the direction we're heading. If you've got kids, bring them down. The Projects Abroad volunteers will be down there, and they'll be able to take your kids along and plant a mangrove on the day. So it's all these little different points that are going to be available. To be a bouncy castle thanks to Cakes 2000 on the day. So please come down. We want to see everyone down there enjoying the day. We're praying for good weather at this point.
Yes.
Like Sassy said earlier, we know it's going to be a good day. It always turns out that
Yep,
way.
positive thinking.
Positive thinking.
Yep.
But like Jay mentioned earlier, it was in 2012, and he distinctly remembers that it did rain that particular evening. But he remembers the song being Purple Rain playing over at the time, and there were purple lights shining through the rain. So it was quite a surreal experience on the day. And I imagine that rain or shine, we'll be out there. I know that Bex and Jay and the guys will all be there. Knox will be there. So, I mean, this is the one day in the year you get an opportunity to come down and see the best of what Fiji has to offer in the one facility.
Absolutely. Now, Sassy, I'm going to ask you to just sing a little tune for us. Since the guys, did a little demo for us, could you do us a little demo as well? Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, something maybe of the singy dringy. That would be interesting.
Okay, what am I going to do for you then? Well, I can do a little bit of the Fiji Vikoso song that I like to sing, and I may be doing it in the weekend too.
All right.
This is Ku Aloha.
Okay.
Ku Aloha Nongundau Lamani Sai Kotang Doanga Andau Nanuma Tikonga Eke kuanim beauty meungangai ngalili li sai koku aloha anda mona kalo kalo serau talei viau.
Oh, beautiful,
Naka,
beautiful,
naka.
Sassy.
Naka.
That's lovely. Thank you so much for that. So there you go. That is what you're going to see this Saturday. Come, for the Uprising
Come one, come all. as they
Festival.
say.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
And
right.
don't forget, $20. It's really good value because there's so many bands and acts, like about 13 to 15 acts, I think. So it's like less than $2 a band, you know?
And
Okay.
every
Value.
ticket being sold is going back into the WWF Pacific Foundation for Mangrove Conservation. So
Wonderful.
the more, the merrier.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for coming to the show today.
Naka.
And the best of luck for your
Thank
festival.
you so much.
Modemanda.
Mode.
Mode.